You know what? I think it might be time to retire. Hey guys, welcome back to the DrCliffAuD vlog. This is vlog number 232, and today I want to talk to you guys about what I'm going to be doing in my retirement. But before I do, if you could do me a huge favor, click the like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well. It is greatly appreciated. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking like, wait a second, is Cliff retiring? Is he going to be done treating hearing loss? Is he done making videos on the channel? If he's done, then why did he just tell us to subscribe to the channel if he's not going to be making any more videos? Well, hold on. Basically, I know what I now want to do when I retire. I'm not going to be retiring quite yet. But, you know, you guys, if you've been following me for the last 231 vlogs, you guys may know that I like to teach and train and coach and all of that other hearing care professionals inside of the industry. And I also teach at the University of Illinois already, their business practice program. And, you know, I teach every summertime in the program, and it's very rewarding. I get to make sure that the students coming out of the University of Illinois who graduate and become audiologists have a decent understanding of business and how they could start their own business if they wanted to. And, you know, that the enjoyment that I get from teaching there really kind of led into me doing some coaching inside of the hearing care industry. And, you know, I've been, speaking now for several years. I travel internationally to speak. I speak here nationally. I get invited to conferences, to keynote talk and all of that. And the thing that I really enjoy about that is taking stuff that I have learned and passing that knowledge on to other hearing care professionals. Now, everybody has their own perspectives on what they've learned. So, you know, my way or my perspective is not the only right way. In fact, some could argue that maybe some of the things of my perspective are incorrect. Nevertheless, right now, I'm actually teaching a program called the Business of Best Practices. Now, back when I first started the channel, the thing that bothered me the most inside of the hearing care profession is that so few clinicians actually followed comprehensive best practices, and the ones who did follow best practices, no one in the world of hearing loss, like the consumer side of hearing loss, really understood what those were or even that they were a thing. And so, you know, I really wanted to start a channel here to educate individuals with hearing loss on what their expectations should be when it came to receiving hearing treatment. But I have since taken that mission and have really shifted it into the coaching and training inside of the industry as well. Because one thing that I realize is that a lot of hearing care professionals, meaning audiologists and hearing instrument specialists alike, they want to be providing a higher level of care. They just don't know how to do it. And that's really what inspired the Business of Best Practice training program that I put together. And basically, I just completed my second session of it. It's 3 sessions in total. Each session is about 2 hours long. So about 6 total hours for the students who are in the program. And we had about 165 students sign up to take it. And when I say students, I mean hearing care professionals. There are a few university students in there as well, but I would say probably 150 of those are actual licensed hearing care professionals, doctors of audiology, masters of audiology, hearing instrument specialists, board certified hearing instrument specialists, because they wanted to take the program so they could get a better understanding of what are all of these best practices, how is Dr. Cliff doing these best practices in his clinic, and if he's doing some of these in a better way or they were not familiar with what some of these best practices were, they could learn what they are, learn how to implement them, and actually take them into their clinic and do just that. And I have to say that the response so far inside of the training program has been phenomenal. I actually send out surveys after each module to kind of get an idea if people actually learned a lot in them, what they learned, if they felt like it was worthwhile and all of that. And the majority of the responses have been really, really good. And the thing is that I've had this Hearing Up network for a while now. If you guys have been watching my channel, you know all about the Hearing Up network. That's my network of hearing care professionals across the United States and even into Australia now that follow comprehensive audiologic best practices. But the sticking point that I'm running into with the network is that not everybody who wants to join the network actually meets the requirements, because the requirements are pretty stringent, meaning you have to follow best practices to a T. You can't cut corners or any of that, and you have to make sure that your implementation of that in your clinic is at a really, really high level. And that's even before I let you get into the network, before you pay your membership dues inside of the network. And yes, it is a for-profit network. I actually make money on the network, just so I'm disclosing all of that openly here. But nevertheless, I mean, if I were to open that up to everybody, I could make a killing on that network, because I have the most attention out there of anybody, thanks to the YouTube channel. But that's not what it's about. It's about making sure that people are doing the right things from a treatment perspective, so you guys get to hear your absolute best. But the thing is that I actually really enjoy the coaching. Like, I look forward to signing on for 2 straight hours, just me just rambling at the camera. Sounds familiar, right? But I actually have students there live in the session, and I'm recording it so they can go back and watch it again and kind of use it as a tutorial. The first week I talked about all the consultation, diagnostic testing, and pre-fitting stuff that they should be doing from a best practice standpoint. And then just yesterday, when I gave my second session, that was all about electroacoustic analysis, otherwise known as test box measures, as well as real ear measurement or real ear verification. And honestly, you know, I spoke for about an hour and a half, and there was about a half hour of solid questions after I gave my talk, and there was questions kind of scattered throughout as well. But what I've realized is that when I get to the point where I just don't have the energy to be treating patients in clinic, I really think that I would enjoy working for a university to actually coach their students in terms of in clinical practice, right? To fit and dispense hearing aids and all of that stuff. I think that that would be really rewarding. The only problem with that is that I would be restricted to only teaching a certain amount of students at one time, right? Because you can only be any place, for a certain period of time, and it's not like I could teach at 10 different universities all at the same time. And maybe I could. Maybe that's actually a thing that exists. I don't know. But what I was thinking is, I could probably have a thing where I go and I give, either all-day seminars, or I actually go in and do hands-on stuff for a week at different audiology programs, and literally do that in retirement. I'd get to see a lot of the country. I could potentially even travel internationally to go do all of that. My name recognition should be pretty high at that point. I don't know how far in the future that is, but as long as I keep this stuff up, people will probably know who I am, and they'd probably say like, yeah, Cliff, you just tell us what you want to do teaching-wise, and we'll make it happen. That's what my fantasy is anyway. And honestly, I don't even know if I'd charge anything for it. I might even do it for free. Hopefully by the time I'm ready to retire, I'm financially set with everything that I've done, and then I can just, commit my time volunteering to these different programs to teach them everything that I know. And if anyone, or if no one rather, wants me to come in and do the teaching, and they're like, Cliff, yeah, you've had your time for you to move on and let the younger generation come in, I would totally understand that. And then maybe I would just do online courses or something like that. But I think it's kind of, an interesting way to take stuff that I've learned throughout the course of my career and share it with other professionals, so they can take the things that they like, leave the stuff that they don't like, and really hope to just drive up the quality of care inside of the entire profession, right? But it's also kind of interesting, like, I was wondering if maybe I did some kind of an education session for individuals with hearing loss, literally set up a course. So if you have hearing loss, you can actually get taught everything that I know about, testing, treating, selecting hearing aids, ongoing care, stuff like that. I wonder if that would be something that you guys would be interested in taking, is an actual course teaching you how to be a better individual with hearing loss when it comes to getting your hearing loss treated. I bet you that might work. But you know what? Let me know down in the comment section if you would be interested in me actually teaching a course, like a live course where you sign up, and on a Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, you actually sign into my Zoom course, and I'm there actually teaching you, answering questions, giving examples. If that's something you think you'd be interested in, just let me know in the comment section below. And you know what? If I get enough people saying, Cliff, that would would be really, really awesome, I might actually do that. And then you guys could actually interact with me directly. Just keep in mind, I couldn't give you any direct recommendations based off of your actual hearing loss because I can only practice inside of my state. But I think that I would be able to share enough information in that session and answer enough questions inside of that session that you guys might find a ton of value with that. So, that being said, no, like I said earlier in the video, I am not retiring anytime soon. I'm going to be continuing to treat patients in my clinic. I'm going to continue to create video content for you guys so you can make better informed decisions about your hearing healthcare. And I'm going to continue teaching other hearing care professionals how to up their game, essentially. Because if I'm being honest, a lot of the providers who have attended the course are already doing a lot of things really well. They just need to step up their game in certain areas. And if we all do this collectively, and if I give this course a couple times a year, the quality of care inside of the hearing care profession is going to improve, and that is nothing but great news for anyone who has hearing loss. But that being said, I really appreciate you guys joining me here today, and as always, I'll see you next week.